And I was about to spar, before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy. A heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga, he hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this.
Oh. The speed, Gervonta Tank Davis, if he put on the right weight, put the right weight on, and, have the lean muscle right, he can look fantastic somewhere in the mid-150s, dare I say, close to 160 against Jake Paul.
This is not just training, this is a warning. Gervonta Tank Davis just dropped a heavyweight like it was nothing and fans are saying Jake Paul might be next. You've never seen Tank like this before. His power looks unreal, and his focus? Scary. Watch till the end, this might be the moment that changes boxing forever. In shocking unseen footage, Gervonta Tank Davis knocks down a heavyweight sparring partner while training for his huge fight against Jake Paul. The clip shows Tank's insane power and perfect timing as he lands a deadly left hand that ends the session instantly. Fans everywhere are calling it proof that Davis's speed and precision are still unmatched even against fighters much bigger than him. This moment reminds everyone why Tank is one of the most dangerous punchers in boxing today. Boxing analyst Showbiz The Adult predicts that Gervonta Davis will come in around 154 pounds for his fight with Jake Paul, dismissing claims that Tank is too small. He explains that Davis has already trained at that weight before and has even gone up to 160 during camps. That means this fight won't be new territory for him. Showbiz also points out that Tank has years of experience sparring with much bigger men, improving his timing, defense, and knockout accuracy. He believes that once Davis lands clean, Jake Paul's size won't help him. Confidently, Showbiz says Tank Davis will knock Jake Paul out easily.
150s, dare I say, close to 160 against Jake Paul. And dare I say it, I think that's the right thing for him to do. Why? I've been saying this. Number one, fighters need to start fighting closer to their walk-around weight. They're just healthier that way. They're just better and healthier that way. I mean, I know it's probably surprising them too. Like, that was the best I've seen Terrence Bud Crawford. Lamont Roach, he's fighting Pitbull at 140, coming from 130 and a pit stop at 135. You have Shakur Stevenson talking about fighting Teofimo Lopez. They're very close to making that fight at 140. And I think all of them would look their best there. Especially Roach, where he ain't knocking nobody out down there at 130. But I bet you he'll be swatting far more at 140. Gervonta Tank Davis, I think, just like the others, fighting closer to your walk-around weight is just going to be one of the better performances for Gervonta Tank Davis. He's going to learn a lot about his body. He's going to learn a lot about himself and where he should campaign moving forward. Maybe even meeting Roach in that rematch at 140 himself. Also, another reason why I think it behooves him to come in knocking at 160 pounds is because of Jake Paul. It's not like Tank is going to dodge every punch Jake Paul throws, all right? Some of those going to land, and more than likely it's going to land on his guard. Tank is going to have his guard up. We need for him to be solid enough, his foundation and his base solid enough, so when Jake Paul hits him with those shots, he doesn't go flying around the ring.
To prepare for Jake Paul, Tank has reportedly been sparring with larger, stronger opponents, something he's done throughout his entire career. From day one, he's challenged himself against heavier fighters to sharpen his speed and precision. With his explosive power and elite fight IQ, Tank has never struggled to handle bigger men. This fight camp is no different, it's pure preparation for domination.
That's real shit.
In his latest training footage, Gervonta Davis looks sharper, faster, and more focused than ever. Every punch he throws carries both power and accuracy, the result of years of discipline. His footwork is light but confident, and every move shows control. Viewers can see the fire in his eyes as he attacks the heavy bag with purpose and rhythm. Experts across the boxing world say Davis looks better than he has in years. His balance of power, timing, and ring control has people talking again, reminding everyone why Tank Davis is still one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet. One major debate before this fight is about size. Jake Paul is naturally bigger, but true boxing fans know that size isn't everything. Many believe Tank's skill, timing, and defensive style will erase any weight difference. Davis has faced heavier men before and made them look slow. Fans remind everyone, boxing isn't about size, it's about skill, timing, and heart. Tank's counterpunching and movement make him a nightmare for anyone, no matter how big they are. His team says this fight isn't about proving strength, it's about proving skill.
It is happening. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered a change in venue. Neither fighter can weigh more than 195 pounds. The weight is perhaps the most surprising factor. Paul has boxed most of his career around 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit, but did tip the scales at 227 pounds when he faced off against Iron Mike Tyson last year. Davis, much smaller in stature, competes at the 135 pound mark and has also won world honours at super featherweight. And despite some discussions about possibly dropping down to 10 ounces, the pair seem set to wear 12-ounce gloves. And in terms of distance, despite the exhibition tag, the fight will play out over 10 3-minute rounds with 3 scoring judges at ringside, but the result will not be officially recorded on their professional records.
Recently, Lamont Roach spoke out about his issues with Davis, stirring up drama online. Analysts say Roach's comments sound more jealous than real, as Davis continues to dominate headlines and make huge money. The two once respected each other, but now Roach's words seem bitter. Experts believe it's hard for some fighters to watch Tank rise so high while others stay in the shadows. But Davis doesn't waste time on drama, he stays focused, silent, and dangerous. His training does all the talking.
Off rip, the question is direct. Reportedly, Tank's gonna make $40 million around there to fight Jake Paul. Would you do the same thing if you were in the situation? And he's like, actually, this is what I explained before. You're beating around the bush. It's really a yes or no. I would do it. I would take the 40 mil, or I wouldn't take the 40 mil. But let's listen to this long, drawn-out explanation.
There's about $40 million that he's going to get paid. If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing?
See, now, this is something that I explain and express, and I hope everybody gets. That opportunity is an opportunity that you probably cannot pass up. But it's about how you handle it. It's about how you go about it. A lot of people don't know that he actually exercised his rights to the rematch, so that contractually binds us to a fight. You cannot breach that unless you do what you have to do to handle the business, to be like, okay, well, we mutually agree to let you move on or swindle around and fight Jake Paul for this money. If you think I'm going to sit back by the wayside and sit there and be like, well, even though I'm contracted to fight this guy for this amount of money on this certain day, I'm just going to sit here and be cool with, oh, he might not ever fight me, and he's going to go fight and get paid and get this money, and I'm not supposed to get anything?
Boxing experts often say Gervonta Davis doesn't get enough credit. Many of his opponents become famous only after fighting him, showing how much power and influence he brings to the sport. Facing Davis can change a fighter's whole career overnight. Critics who say he avoids big challenges forget that even stepping into the ring with Tank is a career-defining moment. Every win adds to his legend, proving that Davis isn't just a knockout artist, he's the face of modern boxing.
Ongoing discussion in the boxing world about Gervonta Davis and Gervonta Davis, his resume, who he's going to fight, the competitors that he's going to fight. And every once in a while, something happens that proves that Gervonta Davis is the face of that. If he's not the face of boxing because people just don't want him to be that, man, he is real close to it, because other than Canelo Alvarez, and even consider Canelo Alvarez included, nobody in boxing has divisions circulating around him like Gervonta Davis does. And that was proved in this Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz announcement for their pay-per-view. Just think about this. Gervonta Davis, they always say that Gervonta Davis has a poor resume. But yet, Gervonta Davis, guys that fight Gervonta Davis, lose to Gervonta Davis, or get a draw to Gervonta Davis, can fight one another and make an anticipated pay-per-view between the two of them. Because that fight with Pitbull Cruz is a very, very popular fighter with Mexican fight fans. Lamont Roach got a lot of name exposure with black fight fans and Mexican fight fans and white fight fans, all with his draw that he got against Gervonta Davis. Now they believe that this is going to be able to be a profitable endeavor for a pay-per-view. Now, let me also tell you that Rolly Romero, who was somebody else that Gervonta Davis fought in the past, will be on a pay-per-view that's going to be successful, most likely, when he's if it's scripted, which more than likely to an extent it will be. Gervonta Davis is not going to put himself in a situation where Jake Paul is going to actually be able to hurt him.